with you describing some of the different events that happened when y'all were children and just growing up before he passed, I can put his character with some of those pictures that I saw. And most of the pictures he was smiling, of course.
Right.
He didn't look scary at all.
No.
So
only if you was messing with threatening something that he loved.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because he was the only boy. So, and then when we were in Springfield, there's a lot of little gangs and stuff. So he had to fight.
Right.
We was coming to a new place. He had to fight. And then I seen compassion in my brother because he used to fight us too. He taught us how to fight too.
Right.
So, when our dog got hit, and that was the first time that I seen my brother cry.
Okay.
He went in the street, hovered over the dog, and he was crying, and then they went and buried him in the backyard, and he cried for a long time. So I was like, dang, this dude, he ain't just tough. He got a heart.
Yeah. So when you got the news, you said you were living in U City.
Mm-hmm.
So when who called you and told you?
Oh, I can't remember.
You don't remember? Okay.
Yeah, because losing a sibling, that's one of the most traumatic experiences, even if it wasn't like a car accident or somebody shot him. It's just losing a part of yourself, because it's truly like losing one of your limbs, because that person always been there. And I don't think I fully could say that I ever even thought about that one day they weren't going to be here.
Exactly.
So yeah,
it is just something that it just kind of take you by surprise, because
right.
Like I said, you spend most of your time with your siblings. They're like your first friends.
Yeah, yeah.
But you get a 2-for-1 with them. They your sister or your brother.
And partial parent.
And your friend.
Right.
Y'all share secrets, and you tell them stuff that they wouldn't go in. You be like, you can't tell mama,
Yeah. So like my mom's at Pillsbury or Chrysler, Belinda would be stand-in like surrogate mother, and then Walter would be dad.
Okay.
But nobody gonna come in and take advantage of his sisters, and Belinda made sure we ate.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? And then with my mom, we moved to St. Louis, and my mom worked out at Chrysler, so she worked so many hours. So Walter and Belinda would still be there. My mama would take money, put it in under the carpet in the corner, and we'd go get us some rice and all the candy we wanted, and we couldn't leave the house no more.
Okay.
So that Belinda and Walter were like a big part of, my mom securing that me and Kibia would be okay.
Okay.
Protected. Yeah. So most of the time I would even introduce Belinda as my sister, but my sister.
Right.
And she'd be like, we're doing that. I was like, nah.
No.
Because I held that type of respect for what she had done.
Yeah. So when you got the news about Walter, what were you feeling like?
I was feeling a little bit of relief and distraught at the same time. Relief that, because they said they had him for life, and relief that God had power to take him.
Okay.
And that he know that Christ was his savior, and because I had told him to get in with a gang, so he became a Muslim.
Okay.
With the Nation of Islam. And then after I grew up a little bit and understood the importance of knowing that Christ is your savior, because you can't go to heaven without it, because he is your, what do you call that? Like an intercessor. It's a word I'm looking for, but in order to get to the Father, you have to get to the Son.
Right.
Because we're not perfect. We're not without blemish, and Christ is mediator. He's the mediator between us and God. Mm-hmm. And that's when I started reading the Bible and understanding that. And I think the last visit that me and EC did with Walter, he was in the hospital part of the Jefferson City. And he had wrote out his obituary, things he wanted in his obituary, because he knew he was dying. And he wanted us to play Yolanda Adams'
Open My Heart.
Fragile Heart.
Okay.
He wanted that played, and he wanted the footsteps in the sand on the back of it. And that just showed me how mature my brother had become.
Okay.
And then I asked him, I said, so what kind of funeral you going to have? And he was like, I'm a Christian. Christ is my, my savior. And I was like, oh. And, so that was surprising that he was making decisions about his salvation, even while locked up.
Okay.
So to me, that was big. And then to be mature enough to say, this is what I want played and give it to me. And then, and I knew God was present because me and Easy had climbed in the bed with him, and she was on one side, I was on the other side.
Now, who is
Easy was his girlfriend, the one when he left Cahokia to go be with her.
Oh, okay.
And we was coming to visit him together, and she was on one side, I was on the other side, and he was like, "Y'all can't be in the bed, but come on." And that was kind of that was God was in there. You in the prison, you in the bed with your brother. And he hugging me, Easy, she on one side, on the other side. And then a guard came in. And all of us looked like deer in the headlight. And he was like, and walked right back out. And he gave us that time. And at this time, Walter wasn't looking like he was going anywhere. But I was, just listening at him prepare me for something like that. Because we had a lot of visits that I don't think everybody knew.
Right.
Me and Walter, between us, we were having a lot of visits. I think one time, because as a dark-skinned girl growing up, everybody call you black. Every time you get into it, Walter was like, girl, your skin
is beautiful.
And your smile, Renee. And it was something. He's like, your smile, just the sun. And I started listening to Natalie Cole, A Smile Like Yours or something like that. I would listen to that song to be in that moment when I was walking, because Walter was behind the glass. Now, people don't understand, Walter was a beast in fight. I never got physical contact with him, until he went to the infirmary.
Okay.
So he was always behind the glass because he messed them guards up pretty bad, for them to say, well, go only take them instead of we going to get them. There wasn't nothing they could do with him. That's just how he was. Woo. Yeah. Walter was something else. And we laid up in the bed and the guard just let us do it. Okay. And I took the information and stuff back home and we did exactly what he wanted us to do.
So was he was brought back home after the pass?
Yeah.
After his passing? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now was he is he buried in any of the cemeteries, or was he cremated?
Charles, Lake Charles.
Oh, Lake.
All my mom and my brother and sister are at Lake Charles.
Okay, that's out there on the Rock Road.
Yeah.
Okay. I know where that is.
It's crazy because I just moved out there.
Okay.
And not even thinking. And when I went past, I was like, I could come and put flowers out, because I'm just getting back to St. Louis. I can put flowers out and I can, and take my grandkids out there. So, and then when they get out there, they act like we at her address because they was like, I thought they was in heaven. And I was like, they is in heaven. She was like, but why we out here? Y'all say they out here. I say, no, this is a marker. And this is her address in heaven. Yeah. We right up under her house so we could speak to her like we on the phone.
Right.
So it's like, for real? Boy, when they get older.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, Granny.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes you gotta let the children have that, that
give them something mild to think,
that innocence, because life will beat you down. It will really beat you down.
Yes.
So, but when you after everything, after the funeral and all those phone calls stopped, what were you feeling? What were you thinking just about your brother?
That I wasn't gonna be able to see him again. And then you just deal with the grief every day until it just started getting a little bit easier to think about it. Then, it goes from the tears to the, anger and, because, I felt that